Hello neighbor, Alicia Dolan here at Creating in My Corner. I am ready for this new year. Uh, at least I am trying to be. So tonight we are going to make a card together. We may make more than one card, but all I really have prepared for is one card. Uh, I'm I'm just glad to be here with you. And December was uh, it's gone, and I feel like I don't know how that happened. It went by so fast, like the rest of the year, really. But I am doing my best to enjoy every moment. I hope that you are too. Last year was kind of threw me for a loop. Some things, some health things, and I am so ready to be back in the swing of crafting, and I'd like to say back to normal, but I don't know that normal is a thing. So what we are going to say is that we're giving it our best shot. Hopefully you can see me. I don't see any comments yet, and I do know that people were looking for me before I was live. So hopefully I am live and you can see what's going on. So I do not have my sample card ready, but we are going to put one together and have a great time doing it. All right, I'm going to turn the camera down so we can get started. Tonight we're going to be using the textured, I wrote it down, I can't even remember, the Textured Notes bundle. Now this bundle is on the Last Chance list, along with a lot of other stamps and dies and wonderful stamp note things. So if you are looking for this, if you really like it tonight during the video, then you will need to go order it right away, because things on the Last Chance list do not last very long. They tend to disappear quickly. I'm just cleaning off my stamp because I didn't do that yet, and I need to do that before we get started. So there are lots of things on the Last Chance list right now. The new catalog is coming out. Bonus days are coming up. Yes, me too. I've been putting things in my cart left and right. But I'm excited about some of the new things, and some basic stuff that I really need to get. I'm all out of several colors of cardstock. I have scraps, but not enough for full cards. And there's some colors I really like right now. I really love the basic beige, and I'm out of that. And so there are definitely some things I want to get. There's a new catalog coming out. So there's a lot going on. I am going to turn my camera around and we'll get started. Like I said, I do not have my sample all the way completed, but I'll show you what I've got, and then we will see what we end up with. So we might not do exactly what we have here, but this is our basic idea for tonight. So we're using the Textured Notes bundle. If you have that and you want to stamp along, we're going to be using that. We're also using our Need for Tweed Designer Series paper, and both those, the bundle and the paper, are on the Last Chance list. So the stamp is actually reduced price, but you already get 10% discount when you get the bundle. So just know that if that's what you're looking for. But I don't know if it will last past through bonus days or not. So bonus days starts January 6th and runs through February 2nd. You get $5 for every $50 that you spend with Stampin' Up. Now, that $5 will come in an email. You need to save that email. Do not delete it. Don't put it in your spam. Make sure that you save it, because then starting in February, you can use those, all those coupons. You can use them all on the same order if you want to, along with any Stampin' Rewards that you get from ordering in pretty much in January. So it's January 6th through February 2nd. All right, let's get started. We need a piece of Early Espresso cardstock. And to start, we are, uh-oh, I just heard something. I hope you can still see me. Let me know if you, I guess if you let me know if you can't or can. Okay, we're going to cut it at 5.5. So we have a piece that's 5.5 by 8.5. Uh-oh. I put my hair in a ponytail before we went live, and there I keep finding little gray hairs around. Okay, so funny story while we're doing this. I went to the grocery store not too long ago, and it was Senior Day, which I kind of know about because I've been there on Senior Day before, but I don't pay a ton of attention to because I technically don't qualify for anything seniorish. But when I was shopping, when I checked out, the lady at the checkout gave me a senior discount. So I thought, well, that must be because my hair is turning more wise by the day. That's what my daughter calls it. That's my wisdom hairs, my gray hair. All right, so here is our card base. That's what we're going to need to start with. And then we need some designer series paper. And I used this piece of the Need for Tweed. Thank you, Kim. It's good to know that you can see me. And we are going to cut this at, let's cut it at 1 3/4. And then we're going to turn it to the side and cut it at 5 1/4. Okay, there's our designer series paper. And then we need a piece of basic white. Now, earlier I cut mine, and then when I embossed it, I noticed it shrunk up a little bit. So this time we are going to cut it just slightly larger so that hopefully when it shrinks up, it'll be still the right size. All right, now this time we are going to cut it 2 3/4. And the last time I cut it 5 1/4. So this time we're going to go to 5 1/4, and then we're going to go up 1/16, which is just the tiniest little, it's just the next little notch after 1 1/4. In case you are not familiar with 16ths. That's not a measurement we usually use. Okay, now I'm going to emboss this with a new embossing folder. This is called, I think I might have already put the envelope away. and I don't know what it's called. All right, so I will look that up later and I'll put it in the comments. But it's, it looks like this, and it does stripes. I'll show you what it looks like after it's run through. And I'm just going to run it through my Big Shot. But if you have a cut and emboss machine or a Big Shot, you can run it through either one. Just make sure that you're using the right sandwich for that. Okay, so then when it comes out, this is a really cool one. You're gonna want it. I really like it. I feel like I'm gonna be using this a lot, and it looks good either way, this way or this way. It's gonna look cool either way. Okay, what we're doing next is, this is gonna be our next layer. So we're gonna set this down and kind of line it up a little bit so that we know where it's gonna go. All right, now it's gonna be a little tricky. So what I'm gonna do is take my liquid glue and I'm just gonna put a little bit along this side right here. And this is the side that's gonna overlap my designer series paper, okay? So now remember, this one is not glued down yet. So what we're doing is lining that up, and we're going to kind of hold it in place, right, while we put the other one next to it. And because we're using that liquid glue, we can kind of scooch it around to make sure it gets to where we want it to be. Okay, and then we're going to press it down on top of the other one. Now, you could do it the other way around and put the designer series paper over this, but I find it's a little bit hard to, if you're going to glue the designer series paper on some cardstock that's already embossed, you probably need to use glue dots. I feel like that's the best way to get it to stick. Alright, so that is our next layer that's not stuck down yet, right? And then we are going to take our we've got a piece of basic beige here. And in our bundle, if you have the bundle, this comes with, okay, it doesn't come like this. This is just the bundle. But I put a magnetic sheet inside my stamp cases so that they will hold my dies with my stamps. Alright, and we're going to choose this rectangle, which is the third rectangle in. Okay. You'll be able to tell because they all have different patterns. Well, some are the same pattern, but this one is different than all the rest. Okay, it has these two lines all the way around. Hopefully you can see that. All right, now we're going to run that through our embossing, our die cutting machine. Well, it die cuts and embosses, right? So I guess I could say either one, really. And then, but let's see, before we go tonight, I'm going to show you a couple more of my favorites that are on the last chance list. And just in case you have been looking for them or wanting them, now is a good time to get them. All right. So there's that. Okay, and we're going to stamp on here. And I kind of changed my mind the last minute what I want to stamp. So hopefully it turns out the way that I want it to. Now this first color is Basic Beige. And we're going to use this image from our stamp set. It's like a round basket weave, kind of like the bottom of a basket. I'm just test stamping off here to the side a little bit today. All right, and I'm going to stamp this down here, kind of by the corner. Okay. There's that one. And then I'm going to stamp this, which is like a smaller, oh, I better close this up, kind of a smaller leaf set. And I'm going to stamp that in Early Espresso, but I'm going to stamp it off so that it's not quite as dark as it would be otherwise. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to stamp it right here. Okay. I'm cleaning them in between each one. I don't always do that, but trying really hard to be tidy today. I spent quite a bit of time cleaning up while I was on Christmas break, I guess you would call it. All right, and next I am going to stamp this one. This block is way too big for this, but I couldn't find my block E. I must have taken it somewhere. And that one, E and F, I actually only have one of. I have quite a few of the smaller ones, D and H. I have a lot of those. Okay. So then I'm going to stamp, this is Pecan Pie that I'm stamping this time. Okay. I like Pecan Pie. I wasn't sure at first, but I think it kind of has a copper look to it instead of just brown, and I really like it. I like it more all the time. Okay, let me clean that one off. I hope that you've all enjoyed your Christmas break. It's been nice taking a little time to just relax. That's a lot of what I've done. I don't usually do a lot of that, but I have found that I actually need to, and it's been good. And honestly, I plan on doing more of that. Like, I do want to take more time to relax. And just enjoy the fact that I'm here and things are good, right? Things are good. Okay, next we are going to cut a piece of Early Espresso that will go behind this. And this measures 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. So we're going to cut a piece just larger than that, 2 3/4. So we're going to go 2 7/8, and then 4 1/4. So we'll go 4 3/8. Now I do cut eighths measurements sometimes, but that 16th I rarely do that, but it did work out the way that I had hoped it would. Okay, now we are going to attach these together just with using some of our liquid glue. And remember, when we're using that liquid glue, most of the time we don't need very much. Okay, see how much I use there? Like little skinny line around the edge and a little squiggle in the middle. That is all you need. Too much liquid glue will, well, first of all, it'll get everywhere and be sticky, and it will make your paper wiggly. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, but like, you know, wavy and weird. You don't want wavy, weird paper. Okay, this is gonna go on top of here like this, but first we have some basic beige ribbon, and what we're gonna do is cut a little piece that's just longer than our card. Okay, so we're just gonna snip it like that, and then we can put a little glue dot at either end. I hope you're doing all right, Kim. I'm sad to hear that you're not able to make cards, because I know that you're a creative person, and you probably are really missing that. I'm assuming that you probably can't quilt or anything either then. I feel like if your knee is hurting, you might not be able to. I know that when my vasculitis flares up, I find it really hard to do anything. Not only because it hurts, like it hurts to get up and move around, but it also I feel like the hurting kind of makes you depressed. And then it's like a cycle, because then it makes me feel worse, and then I don't know if it's like that for everyone or not, but it's definitely like that for me. I think that's one of the reasons I've kind of had a struggle this year with you know, with being creative and getting down in my craft rooms. There's been some things that have just made it hard. That's what I figured. You probably can't go up and down the stairs, especially not if you're using a walker, right? Can you? I can't imagine trying to get up and down the stairs like that. But I know that your kids are probably helping you. Ron's probably helping you. So that at least that's good, right? But it's hard when we can't do things for ourselves, for sure. Okay, there is that. And then I know that it doesn't add very much, that ribbon, but I really like that it's there. Okay, let's use some Stampin' Dimensionals, and we'll put on the back of our image here. Okay. I feel you. I feel like I would feel the same way. And I probably would try and sneak into it when no one was paying attention. But then when I needed to get back to where I belong, they they would figure me out, right? Okay, there is our, this is really pretty just like that, but we are still going to put our sentiment on there. And what I want to use for that is, I think, a little piece of crumb cake. So I have some here, some little scraps. Now I'm imagining you going up and down the stairs like that. But I can definitely see it happening. All right, let's stamp a little note of appreciation, and we're going to stamp that in Early Espresso. And remember, when we're stamping, we're just going to tap, 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 right? We're not going to smush. We're not smushing our stamp. Okay. And even when we're pressing it down, we're just pressing. Okay, we're not smushing. No smushing of our stamps. And that is how it turns out. See how nice that is? A little note of appreciation. Sometimes that is exactly what you need. All right, and we're gonna, you know what, let's cut that at an angle. Just like this. And then we will take our sponge dauber from over here, and let's put some pecan pie around the edges of that. Okay. And that's just going to add a little something something to it. Because it doesn't need much, but sometimes you just need a little more than just the stamping, right? You really do. Okay, that looks good. And we can put that right there, I think. Okay, so on the very bottom of this, I'm going to put some mini dimensionals. Because I kind of want it to hang off that edge a little bit, but I'm going to get them really close to the bottom. Okay. And then at the top, we're going to put a couple little, it does, doesn't it? I just feel like that little bit of dabbing, sometimes it helps everything blend together, and sometimes it helps it stand out. I don't know what it is, but it does really make a big difference. And it doesn't take that much time. It just takes a little minute to put that on there. It's totally worth it, is what I'm saying. All right, so there is our, look how pretty that is. And we didn't even, it did not take us that long. We put together a beautiful card. Okay, I feel like maybe we should add some gems on there. What should they be? I think I like these ones. Okay, these are Pearls of Beauty. So these are kind of new. They're with a suite, the Beauty something, Beauty Suite. I'll show you another card that I made with that in just a minute. All right, let's use these. Look, these are perfect. Goodness, I think. Okay, look how pretty those are. I don't know if you can see, but they're a little bit iridescent. They're so pretty. Okay. And then, just so I can show you real quick, the other cards I made. Now, this one is one that I'm going to make at card class next time there's card class, which is January 16th, the in-person class, okay? Look how cool that is. That is using the, I think it's called Petals of Beauty. Okay, there's one. And then here's another one. Okay, those are, it's really pretty. They turn out really nice. Okay, so that's that. Now remember, that is from the Textured Notes bundle, and that is on the last chance list. So if you like that, the other sentiments in there are thank you and you are seriously the best. So it's a really good set for thank yous. And these nature sets you can use for anyone. So there's no limit on the amount of cards you can make and send. All right, and then I'm just going to put those away real quick so that none of them get lost. Not that they will get lost off my table, but they definitely could, because lately I'm losing a lot. Sometimes I'm pretty sure I've lost my mind. But it's fine, right? It's all fine. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple more stamps that are on the last chance list. I went through my first shelf and found this one, Love and Courage. Great stamp set. We might make a card with this in just a minute. I feel like we need at least 2 cards, right? Perfectly Pairs is going. The More Messages is going. Now, this is a great stamp set, and there is a die that goes with it. So, the only funny thing about this is everything stamps at once. So, everything stamps at once, and then you can die cut it all out. I haven't actually tried this, so maybe we should try that one. I don't know. All right, and then the Mixed Florals. This is a beautiful set and perfect for coloring. If you love to color, you're gonna want this. There are no words though, so you'll have to just make up your own words. But the dies that go with this are really cool too. It's really a beautiful set. I got it, and I haven't used it as much as I thought I would, only because I haven't been able to craft as much as I had planned. All right, and then this one is another one that's on the last chance list, Impressions of Bloom. And I thought I had a card right over here that was made with this, but I can't find it now. I don't know where it is. So if I find it later, I'll post it. Okay, so what do you think? More messages, or let's do Love and Courage, because just because. All right, let's do that. Let me put these inks away and we will start another card. Okay, and this time what shall we do? Maybe let's do a pink. I've got a lot of pinks in my stash, I have a little stash that I keep to the side for quick card making, so I have a whole bunch of card bases already cut. Okay, let's do pink. And I'll tell you what, I just got, let's see. I got 2 new embossing folders just recently. I got the one that I already showed you. And I got this one. I don't know if you can see that, but it has like little hearts and rainbows. They're so, so pretty. Okay, let's use that. And the Love and Courage stamp set. So let's get a piece of, I think maybe we should do pink and white. Don't you think? That seems reasonable to me. Alright, let's cut a piece of white that is for I'm gonna have to clean off my desk. It's gonna be a Craft-A-Lanch soon. It's gonna be, I'm sure it's gonna be super impressive. There will be stuff everywhere. Alright, so let's emboss that with our Hearts embossing folder. Now, when you're using these 3D embossing folders, you only need your base plate and the specialty plate that goes on top. You don't need your extra clear plates or the thin shim. Okay, I said that and I used the wrong top. Use the wrong top. Let's see how. We're gonna go with it though. All right. We're gonna score our card at 4 1/4. So this will be a standard card. And we'll fold it. And press with our bone folder just to get that nice and tight. Okay, so we've got our card, we've got our embossed layer, and let's see here. Let's cut out our big, let's see. I wish I could find my medium-sized stamper. I cannot. All right, let's get our pink. It is pretty in pink. And we're gonna stamp that on a piece of white. Thank you, Kim. Those cards turned out so pretty, I thought. The paper really makes it easy. That paper, I can tell you the name of it if I just look. It is Brushed with Beauty. Okay, look at those flowers. They're just so, so pretty. They're all so pretty. And the backs are really nice too. They're nice neutral colors. See that nice mossy meadow right there? This one is actually the front. I stuck them in there backwards. But I love this stripe one too, but the other side is so pretty. I am gonna have to get another pack of paper before I can use those stripes. They really are pretty though. All right. I feel like I'm easily distracted lately. I'm swip swapping around from one thing to the next. Okay. Here is our stamp. See how pretty that is? That is really pretty. Okay, and then trying to see if we had any little hearts over here in my bin, but I see clouds, no little hearts. Okay, so there's that, and then let's cut this out with our stylish shapes. So we've got a circle here that will fit, I am sure. Okay, this is the largest circle from the Stylish Shapes dies. And I'm just going to cut that out right quick. If you can hear me sniffling, it's just because it's starting to get a little cold down here. I got a new heater for under my desk for Christmas, and it's really nice, but I haven't figured out how to keep it on. It keeps turning off. Stripes are good for masculine cards, and they're really neutral. It's a really nice stripe. It kind of reminds me of like beadboard or paneling. I just really like it. Alright, and then with our Pretty in Pink, I'm going to cut out a little banner. Let's see if this is wide enough. Oh. Let me get another piece of pink. Oh, I'm almost out of Pretty in Pink too. I have been running out lately with different things. Alright, let's cut out a banner. And this is from the Stylish Shapes too, so I'm not using a bunch of different dies. I'm trying to limit myself a little bit. So I know it's hard to buy everything you want to buy. You could also cut just cut a piece of paper and then trim the ends in a banner shape, or there is a banner punch too that you could use. Alright, we're going to cut our little banner in half. Okay, and we're going to put it on here. Like this. Alright, I'm just going to put some liquid glue on there, because then I can kind of move it around a little bit if it's not exactly where I want it to be. Now I am today working on this silicone mat. I don't know if you have it or have used it or not, but it's really nice, not very expensive. It's a great surface for stamping on. It's also great because everything just wipes off of it. So if you get glue on this, if you get ink on it, you can wipe it right off. Right, I need it to be a little closer, a little closer, a little closer. And I'm kind of trying to line it up. I'm not measuring, not today, but you could measure to make sure it's straight if you wanted to. Okay, there's that. Here is our embossed piece. All right, so we are going to glue this flat to the front of our card. Okay, remember what I said, when you're putting on that liquid glue, you just need a little around the edge and then a squiggle in the middle. That is the way I adhere the glue all the time, and so far I haven't had any trouble with my cards falling apart or my paper getting wavy. I can't think, I know there's a technical name for that when your paper gets wavy, but I cannot think what it is. Some days I just can't. All right, and I think we're gonna put this right in the middle. It seems like, to me, that is a good spot for it. So we just need some Stampin' Dimensionals, and I am looking for where I put the regular size ones, but I don't see them. I probably covered them up with something. Oh, no, here they are. Not quite. Close. They were close to covered up. Okay, here we go. We've got our Stampin' Dimensionals. And should we put it in the middle? I feel like it should go in the middle. Alright, and then let's cut out this little heart. I feel like we need that. We need a little heart. I really like the sentiments in this one. Not that I'm trying to be distracted, but I like this one that says it's okay to not be okay. Because I think so many times when we're struggling with something, anything, and people ask us how we are, we say, oh, we're okay, or I'm fine. But we're not always. And we don't have to be. Like, we can have some time where we're not okay. And sometimes what you really need when you're not okay is not for someone to make it okay for you. You just need them to sit with you in the unokayness. And I know that's not a word. But it really is important. Like, just having someone with you in those times where you're not okay. And they're not trying to make you be okay. Like, it's all right to not be okay. But I really like that sentiment. So it also says, friends don't let friends fight cancer alone. Thank you for supporting me throughout my battle. Love and hope. So there's a lot of good sentiments in there. They're all good. I just really happen to like that one that says it's okay not to be okay. All right, let's fussy cut this little heart. Now remember, when you're fussy cutting, I'm not being as careful as I normally would. I don't know why. All of a sudden I got a little rush of speed or something. I can't blame it on not enough coffee, because I did have a lot of coffee today. In fact, I still have part of a cup left here on my desk. All right, I'm gonna trim it just a little more because I don't like how that one little spot got a little crazy. Sometimes my cutting gets a little crazy. Okay. Let's put our little heart on there. I feel like it should go over here by the support. What do you think? Okay. I'm going to put it there. It could go on either side, really. But I like it over there by the little support. Okay, right here. Okay, I think that's perfect. And then we can put whatever we want to say inside. I'm not going to add anything more to that, except I would like to show you one thing. If I can find it, but I don't have the right thing, so I'm just going to put these on there. I thought that I had some pink. I thought I got some pretty in pink blends, but I didn't get them. Hello, Janelle. I am going to try and keep up with my schedule this year. I'm going to try and keep up with my actual schedule. So I should be live on the 1st and 3rd Sundays at 4:30. And if I'm not live, I'm planning on posting a video. I did need that pink heart in there, didn't I? Okay, these are basic rhinestones. I don't know why, but the rhinestone basic jewels they have been my favorite from the beginning, and they're still my favorite. Now, there was a while where we had the iridescent rhinestones, and I like those too, but the basic rhinestones are always my favorite. Okay, so we're going to add just 3 of those. I'll put those away later. And there's our second card. Okay, Janelle, you missed the first card, so I will just show that real quick. This was our first card, and we used the Textured Notes bundle, which is on the Last Chance list. And for this card, we used the Love and Courage stamp set, which is also on the Last Chance list. So I'm trying to show you things you might need before they're gone and we can't get them anymore. So there's 2, and we'll do one more card. And since I haven't used this before, maybe we should use this more messages. What do you think? We should try it and see. All right. So it really has a lot of sentiments on here. How about if we make a happy birthday card? That seems like a good thing to do. All right, let me put my other stamps away. Thank you very much. They both turned out really nice. I am happy with them, especially since I really didn't plan ahead too much. I knew that I wanted to use stamps that are on the last chance list, but I didn't know exactly what I was going to do with them. So sometimes it turns out and sometimes it doesn't. I'm not sure why they put them all together like that. It's not the first time that I've seen a stamp like that, but they don't do it very often. All right, let's see. We've already done pink and brown, so maybe we should make a card with. Let's do Mossy Meadow. Should we do that, or should we do Pool Party? It's a tough choice. Tough choice. Actually, let's switch to Pool Party because I have something that I think will go with them. All right. In my bag over here. I have these. Now you can get these still. This is Celebration Expressions Memories and More card pack. Okay, and this comes with, I don't know if it says on here how many, 54 cards. Okay, so some are this size, which is I'm assuming 4 by 6, and some are this size, which is probably 3 by 4, right? This is not gonna go with that. Let's switch. Oh yeah, the Stamparatus would work for that for sure. All right, let's switch to Balmy Blue because that's going to match better with these cards. I didn't realize there was no Pool Party in there. Oh, hold on, let's see. My camera says its battery is almost dead. There we go. All right, it should be okay now, at least for a minute. Okay, so this card is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's already scored, so we can just fold it. There it is. For a second, I lost my bone folder. I just couldn't see it behind the ruler, which is clear. All right, so let's see. These go this way. What else have we got? Okay, there's a bunch of those. Wait, it looks like there's 2 different ones. I'm trying to get that other one out to see. Okay, so there's this one or this one. I don't see where that one says happy birthday at all, but I do really like this side. All right, let's go with that. Okay, and so we'll cut that one down. It's already measures 4 by 6, so we just need to cut it to 5 1/4. And then we'll use that card as our designer series paper. It's really cheerful. And to be honest, I had put it in my bag when we went to Onstage. That was last year in March. And it kind of got, I'm not going to say it got lost in there, but I tucked it away, you know, for another time. And then I kind of lost track of it. So let's use this stamp set, and I'm thinking let's use blue, Balmy Blue. Okay, so we're gonna put it on. This is block F. Okay, if you've got a Stamparatus, you could use that too. And then we're gonna get our Balmy Blue ink. And we're going to tap, tap, tap it all over this. So we're just going to cut out all these sentiments in Balmy Blue. Okay. Mostly so that we can see how it's done, right? All right. I'm just going to set that aside for a second while I cut a piece of basic white. I just got a new pack because I had run completely out of basic white and envelopes. So you may ask, how is that possible? Well, it is. I don't know how, but I did it. Alright, we're going to cut this in half. So I'm going to cut it at 5.5 because I know that 5.5 will fit in our cut and emboss machine, right? And I need to flip my silicone mat over just because I know this one side has a raised part and the other side does not. Okay, now I'm going to get a little more Balmy Blue ink on there because it might have dried out while I was talking. Chatting along. Okay, now when you're holding this big one, just be careful because it's easy to drop it. Don't ask me how I know, but it is. Alright, we're going to press it down and make sure we push in the center. Hopefully my table's fairly even right here. And it's not. So I missed a little. This is where I should have used the Stamparatus, right? Because then I could take another swipe at it. But we're just going to cut it out and we're going to use what we got. Alright, so now we can line up this die and cut out all of these sentiments at once. Okay? Alright, we're going to try it and see how it works. It looks like it lines up pretty good, so we will see. There are a couple I definitely did not get to stamp quite right. All right. Sometimes it makes me very nervous when they snap like that. But I do know they're cutting out. Alright, so here is our results. Here are our results. Here it is. I guess R. Okay. So we've got Time to Celebrate. Lots of love. Hi there. Way to go. You can do anything. You're the absolute best. Turned out a little funny. Oh, the shapes are really good. There's a lot of really good shapes in here. That's a smart idea, Janelle. Happy birthday. I adore you. Hooray. Oh, happy day. This one didn't quite turn out, but it says you're simply incredible. It's like reading with my glasses when they're brand new. It's a little tricky. Congratulations. Thanks a lot. Miss you. Always here for you. This one should say hello. Forever friends and good luck. Now, some of these we can probably use a marker to color in those words that we didn't quite get. Next time I will definitely use the Stamparatus. Sometimes you really do need a stamping platform of some kind. Alright, so now I have some little white ribbon over here. And I think we can cut this. This is just a white 1/4 inch ribbon. It doesn't have a fancy name or anything. I'm gonna clean off this stamp though before I put my elbow in it. It is blue, right? So it would match my shirt a little bit, but I still don't want ink on my shirt. Just in case. Not that I'm always neat and tidy, but I don't want to have to wash my laundry any more than I need to. Alright, there's that. So now we're going to take our glue dots and pop one on each end of our ribbon here. Just like we did with that first card. Except this time we're going to add a bow. Alright. So now we're going to lay this right across the middle here. And just attach it around the back using those mini glue dots. I'm trying to line it up, but I don't have a liner upper. I do. I have a bunch of rulers around here, but not using them. Okay, now a little bit of glue. And we're doing a thin line around the edge and then a swiggle down the middle. I have found that is the best way to apply the glue. At least that's the way that works for me. If you have a way that works for you that's better, then you could put that in the comments, and then maybe other people could be inspired by your tips and tricks. All right, and then let's see. We really want to say happy birthday, but look, this happy birthday is so tiny. I feel like let's use our Stylish Shapes banner again. But maybe this, oh, that might be too big. Maybe the small one. I feel like that's a better size for that. And some balmy blue. And we'll die cut that. look at this. We kind of need that little eye to show up. So we have a Bonnie Blue. Nope, that's Marina Mist. Alright, here's the Balmy Blue Stampin' Write marker. And I'm just going to take the pointy end and just make that eye. You can kind of tell that I wrote it in there, but we're going to layer it right on top of there. It does have a lot of really nice shapes. I like those ovals for the sentiments. Those are really nice. Okay. There we go. I think that looks good. And we'll take this ribbon and tie a little bow around our first piece. Now I'll show you how I make a bow, because I make it the same way every time. So I take my ribbon and I pull up a loop on the left side. Then I take the right one and go around the back, and then I just tuck it through the middle. Now I don't know why that works for me, but it does, and it doesn't work for everybody. But if you have trouble with your bows, give it a try and see if it helps. And I like to tie it onto that ribbon, because then I can kind of scoot it along if it's in the wrong spot. I don't have to untie the whole thing. Alright, so there is our ribbon. And this white ribbon does tie nice little bows. Okay. Here's our happy birthday, and we're going to put some dimensionals on the back to pop that up. Okay. I feel like that should be on the ribbon, but should it be down? Oh, I think it should be on the ribbon. Well, when you make your card, let me know if you put it on the ribbon or somewhere else. And this one, I don't know what kind of dots to give it yet, so I'm gonna leave it blank just for now. So there is our third card for tonight. So we have a happy birthday, a little note of appreciation. That was the first one. And then our second one was the support, strength, heart, faith. The name of that was love and courage. So those stamp sets are all on the last chance list. If you are interested in those or the dies that go with them, then be sure to check those out. Now, don't forget that bonus days is coming up. That starts on the 6th, so that would be Tuesday. And don't miss that. I can't remember which way this was on my thing. Maybe it was that way. No, it wasn't. It was the other way. All right. So until I see you again, I should see you on the third Sunday of January. Let's see, today is the 4th, so that would be the 28th, right? If my adding is correct. And I will be writing up the directions for these and sending them out this week. I know that I got behind on directions I was going to say last month, but I could actually say last year. So I will be working on that. That's one of my goals for this year, is to try and keep up on the things that are important to me, and writing directions is one of those things. So I hope that you have a wonderful night tonight, and you get to do a lot of stamping until I see you again. Hello! I can't see, not everyone's name is on there. That looks like Susan, maybe. Hello, Susan. Thank you for joining me. And until next time, I'll be here stamping and hoping that you are stamping too. I'm always happy to see what you've created, so go ahead and post in the comments or on my page if you make any of these cards. I'd love to see your creations. Happy stamping!